Do you know about the Black Knight satellite? That's
No.
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 So when I heard about this, I was like, there is no way. But the more research I did, I was like, all right, maybe there is some truth to it, right? So essentially, the Black Knight satellite is a piece of object that is going around currently is still going around Earth that nobody really knows what it is, but it is supposedly it is predated before humans even flown,
It's like ancient.
like ancient, like they were saying 13,000 years old, right? So like I said, it's a mysterious object that's in orbit around Earth, and that the scientists around the world have dated it back to 13,000 years old, right? And then supposedly that no known space agency like NASA and stuff like that have ever launched anything like that. And then not only that, but it also transmits every now and then strange signals. So signals come from the object or the debris, whatever you want
It's
to call
like
it.
translated.
Huh?
Have the signals been
So let me
translated?
get to it. Right, and then it's also photographed by multiple times by NASA. So I'm gonna show you how it looks like. So essentially, it's just like a black diamond. I don't know what do you want to call it, like a black. And obviously, it looks weird because we never seen stuff like that. You know what I mean? And like
It's
I
in
said,
space?
yeah, it's in space. So NASA knows about it. Everybody knows about it, but they don't really. My thing is, if you know it's not from this world, why would you not shut it down? You know what I mean? Could it be
Yeah.
aliens? We don't know, right? And so, like I said, scientists claim it predates human space flight. So even space, because we didn't go into space since like the 50s, I think,
Yeah.
60s, with Apollo and all that, and that it could be an alien probe watching the Earth. So maybe like an alien satellite trying to keep track on humans. I don't know, stuff like
Bro.
that, right?
Like a camera?
Like I guess you can say like a camera, yeah. And then so the thing is that the mystery of the Black Knight satellite isn't just based on one event. It's like on multiple incidents that happen, right? It's a collection of events that led up to the discovery of it over the decades. So for the first one, it was in 1899. So you know Tesla, right? Nikola
Yeah.
Tesla, the famous scientist, right? So 1899, Nikola Tesla detects alien signals. Well, not alien signals, but signals coming from. Because apparently at that time, he was experimenting with radio signals in Colorado Springs, and so while he was testing or doing experiments with radio signals in Colorado, he detected a repeating radio signal that he believed came from space, which was eventually led to be the black satellite. And then he later suggested that it might have been a message from intelligent civilization. So he thinks it's like the radio signal. If you decode it or whatever, it has like it's saying like help or something like that. And that some believe Tesla was the first human to detect the Black Knight satellite. So a lot of people and a lot of scientists believe that he was the first one to discover it or like to tell about it. And mind you, this is back in 1899.
That makes sense because like
Not even the 1900 yet.
Nikola
Well,
Tesla
almost.
was like one of the smartest men.
Well, he was one of the smartest, right? If not the smartest. And another one would be in 1928 to 1930s. Strange radio echoes detected again. In 1928, Norwegian scientist, his name was Carl Stormer, and his team detected radio signals bouncing back in strange patterns. Again, from the black satellite that's orbiting Earth. Sometimes with and then this is what catches me, right? So it wasn't just like a long thing. It was like it was send a signal, stop, and then send it again. You know what I mean? Like it was timing it. And so like sometimes with delays of 15 seconds or more. Some believe these echoes were coming from an unknown object in orbit, possibly the Black Knight satellite, right? And then fast forward in 1954, a mysterious satellite reported in newspapers. So obviously back then they didn't have like cameras and all of that, so it was just the newspapers, right? That's how you got the word. And before any country had launched a satellite, so back then a satellite hasn't been launched that were known. You know what I mean? So newspapers claim that the U.S. Air Force had detected two mysterious objects orbiting Earth. Kehoe, which was he was at the time he was a general or retired U.S. or a corps major for the U.S. Marines, claimed these satellites were not from Earth. right? The first official satellite, Sputnik, that's what the satellite was called, wasn't launched until 1957. So this is like a couple, 3 years, 2 years after it was discovered, or after it was talked about in the newspaper. So it wasn't like a well known like satellite that was launched that they know of at the time. And then also the U.S. military announced it had detected a dark unknown object orbiting Earth. So now this is like more than just Tesla. Now this is the military actually talking about it. And they were obviously with the U.S. Back then they had the whole Cold War and all that. Like who can get first to the moon? There were obviously like spies. I'm assuming so, right? And also like satellite spies that were tracking like China and Russia, just in case they actually launched something. They were already tracking it, and they were saying that no, it's not them either because we're already have surveillance on them. And then, like I said, and then the press reported on it, like multiple countries, like the press, reported it and about like a possible spy satellite, and no country in the whole world claimed it. That said it was ours, right? And then in 1973, Lunin, which is a scientist, and analyzed the mysterious radio echoes from 1928. So he backtracked the signals and claimed that he decoded the message. He decoded the message and believed it said, "Our home is Elpselson Buddhist, a double star. We are sending this message from a probe in orbit and around your planet." What? So apparently, that's what the message means, according to the scientist or the person who decoded the message, right? And then he also claimed that the probe was at least 13,000 years old, like how Tesla and other people were saying. And then not only that, in 1998, that's when NASA officially says that the NASA's like the satellite and their stuff up there, STS-88 mission captures a strange object. That's in 1998. That's when NASA officially declares, "Hey, we see it," stuff like that. And then NASA astronauts captured images of a strange black object floating in orbit. And mind you, it's still orbiting right now on Earth. Like, oh my God. If that is true, if he did decode it, and it's saying, and it makes sense, right? Like, okay, I don't know if it's aliens, right? But if it is aliens, it's space. So, like, you know how many light years, and light years is long, you know what I mean? Like, far away. We don't have the technology yet for light years to go into space. In space,
we can't go like other galaxies. And
we can't. We just don't have the technology as far as we know. Obviously, they might have the technology. They can just send a satellite to Earth and just be like send the signals, and then we might expecting us to send someone back. Or I don't know. What do you think?
It's crazy. Like if it's like orbiting right now, like you can have like images on your house like right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh?
It could be seeing like your house, your location, anywhere.
But like it's sending signals. That's the thing. I understand if it's just an object but no signals, but it's sending signals. I don't know. In my opinion, I think it's weird that it hasn't got shut down. That's one. Second, nobody claims it. And then thirdly, how come we don't go grab it or go to it, experiment? You know what I mean? Find out. Earth? It's in orbit. It's in right outside, like in the orbit. Like where like the rocks get too close to the orbit of Earth, they like circle around like stars, stuff like that. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty close. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just there. If it's one thing, if it's just there, but it's sending signals every now and then, but nobody knows what it is. But you have it right there.
That message, this is our home or something.
Yeah. So the message, like I said, let me say it again. Essentially, it says that we are from this location. We are sending this message to let you know that this is our object. In order the object around your planet is ours.
And it's weird because, like, if you think about it, like, are they just choosing our specific, like, Earth? Or, like, are they sending it out to everybody?
Because you know how NASA is supposed to discover life. How do you not know the aliens have their own goddamn NASA trying to search for life and they found the humans? You know what I mean? Like, I guess it makes sense, but, do you believe in aliens?
I do.
I do. Because think about it, we're not going to be the only life forms or organisms, I guess you can say.
We don't know what's beyond space.
We don't know. Just because we can't get there doesn't mean we don't know. We can't. There's no life, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty. I don't know. It's kind of sketchy too at the same time because you don't know what their whole agenda is or whoever owns the Black Knight satellite. And like I said, it is still there.
I will probably never know because like
Yeah, and not only that, maybe the government does know, but they don't really tell us. Because maybe
they don't want to
if-
scare us.
They don't want to scare us. Because if they do tell us, that would cause panic, and next, everybody be going to the supermarkets, and it'll be chaotic.
Like Fallout.
To like Fallout. Yeah, something like that. You never know.